Welcome back to a very basic space program. In this episode, we're going to do a flyby of Io. I think we're going to see about something around Saturn, and we might try and send some crew towards the moon. Please join me. So here we are. We're just about to fly through the moons of Saturn. Of course, this craft is actually going in a retrograde orbit. It's going the opposite direction to all of the moons that are going around Jupiter. So it's very unlikely that we're going to do anything too interesting, but we do get our flybys. We have the flyby there, which is 7,800 kilometers, and we're required to have some science equipment going on. Now let's just check. What is our situation with the science on this craft? I think we're pretty much done, I think, for everything else. Let's have a look. Yeah, all this is stopped. Why are we unstopped? We're unstopped because we're on low power, are we? Yes. Right, okay. So we're going to be charging as we go. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on the just general, the amount of power we've got. This may be possibly the last flight, the last flyby we're going to go forth with this. Once we've gone past Io, I think we'll have a look. We could do some burning around Io to do some changes, but I think we'll have a look and see what else is possible. But I'm not sure what, if anything, we are going to have possible. So we'll see what's going on there. All right, let's have a look. We can just move forward with this, can't we? There we go. Just move it forward. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What's our time on the alarm? We are running at 2 days, it says. So we're going to hit that in 2 days. Wow. It's just staggering how quickly you go through the Julian system when you have got such a high sort of orbit. There we go. So we are still doing science. That's interesting. That is interesting. That's our craft, isn't it? Yeah. It's still doing science. So if we have a look at this, let's have a look. Yeah, it's doing the image spec, isn't it? 38 days still left to go. What we might do is I might jump it to shut down all of them automatically. We might just disable and leave them disabled. We'll see. Yeah, it would be annoying to get close and then not have the required electrical charge. So let's wait until we get to somewhere close. That's got a quick speed round Jupiter, doesn't it? It goes around very quickly. Right, here we go. I'm going to bring this down a bit in time. Let's have a look. What are we looking like for fuels and stuff? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to that, and we're going to turn, well, I'm going to turn all of that off. No, we're going to just leave that on, leave that on. I'm going to go up to the standard one now, and we're going to disable all of this. There we go. Right, so now we should be charging. Let's have a look. Yeah, we are charging. Okay. Right. We can actually jump back to viewing the craft. So that's going to come around. We're going to join it on the other side. We're going to have signal to Earth, I believe. Yeah. So we should be okay. We can just speed this up a bit, and it should take over now. Oh, that's interesting. Why are we still doing that? Ah, that needs to be turned off. We got a lot of data build up now. Yeah, we do. We got an awful lot of data build up, but that's just going to take forever to transmit. So what we might do is we might turn that off. There we go. That can transmit later. Right, here we go. It's going to be a very quick pass. We need to be aware of that. Let's have a look. Get it back down to slow. Are we actually charging with... We've got charge. Okay. That's stop. Come back. Why are you on waiting? Has it jumped again? So it's overriding. Okay. I want to turn that off for now. I want to get as maximum a charge as possible. And then when we get to the sphere of influence, we're gonna go for it. Right. How much further we got? We've got about an hour. So let's just move towards that. Yeah, we're still charging up. I'm just hoping it's not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna be fully charged. Good. That's annoying. Actually, need to think about that. just turn things off. Don't set them all to don't care. I think would probably be the best idea. Right. Now, we're going to probably be stopped in time warp by the Kerbal alarm clock. That's not a problem for me. We're just going to slow it down a bit, actually, because we don't want it running through. So we don't have very long. We come in 500 kilometers away. How close do we need for the flyby? We're going to be close enough. Okay. That's okay. We're going to be close enough for the flyby. That's not a problem. Let's have a look. We've got the power coming on. Yeah, we do. So the second, just before we jump through into there, we're going to jump over. We're going to turn everything on, get everything sorted and situated. You can see how big it is in comparison on this thing. Can we actually see it yet? That's the interesting thing. Is can we see you? Oh, there we are. There is Europa. Not Europa. Io. How interesting. Right. So we're going to go warp forward a bit more. It's got a very small sphere of influence. Interesting. I suppose it's so close to Jupiter. There we go. Right. It's going to jump in, and we are now. Go. Right. Enable that data. Go, 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 go. Gather all the datas. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pause some of these. So we want to focus on just getting these ones. What's the quickest? No idea. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a nice look at this. This is cool. Right. Yeah, look at that. So Io, that looks interesting. I believe is Io one of the ones that is impacted by the fact that it is so close to Jupiter that it actually gets a lot of tidal forces ripping it apart, basically, and so it's got a lot of internal heat because of that. I do not know. That's something possibly new. We're going to turn you off, actually. We'll let the data build up. What I'm trying to get is, so we've got pressure, we've got temperature. How long do those take? How long are those going to take? We got them in here. Telemetry. Telemetry, actually, yeah, telemetry is a good one. We'll transmit you. Yeah, get you transmitted, right. That's 3 minutes. Where is my thermometer, barometer, all sorts of stuff like that? Oh, there we are. So you are going to take 8 minutes. Don't think we have time to do you. I don't think any of them are going to complete, but we can get some of them. We can get some points of data from them. We'll keep those up there. Right. Let's have a look. It's never been retrieved. That's interesting. Collected value. Okay, cool. Right, how much longer have we got in this sphere of influence? We've got 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. These are not going to finish. Is the telemetry going to finish? That's the question. You are probably not. Telemetry. Let's have a look. Give me the info. Not that one. Oh, that's not the one I want. But that's going to be 4 minutes. Okay. That's interesting. That should. Oh, it's IO space low now. Oh. We're not going to get IO space low. Right. So all these things are now going. Okay. Suppose we can transmit that. All this data is building up. We don't want that. We don't want visible. We don't want these to be transmitted yet. We want to basically just get right. Are we now? Wow! Look at that. That is cool. We are close. Oh, hello. That's nice. We like that. So are we flying? We're flying just over it like that. Oh, it's superb. Wonderful. Right, let's get back onto mission. How are we doing? Have we actually completed part of it? Right, so we've got the distance. We're just going to transmit science data back from near IO. Okay. Let's have a look. What's our transmission looking like? We have some data. A range of datas. We've got upgrade points added, so we are transmitting science, but is it going to count towards that is the question. Interesting. 3 minutes on that. I don't think that's going to be enough. 3.5. No, it's not. That's annoying. See, what I should have done is I should have actually built these craft with maybe just little sort of science packages on, so that when we go through, and this is an idea, when you go through a sphere of influence like this, you just dump them off with just the science equipment, just so that they can drain their batteries over the space of 5 minutes. And then boom, you've got a load of science data coming in for these flybys. That's a lovely picture actually. Look at that surface there. Have we got much longer to go? We have 2 minutes total going. Okay, we are. In fact, that was interesting. Let's zoom out. So how are we looking? We are good. Have we still not finished that mission? Still not finished it. What does transmitting science data from space near Io actually, what's it equivalent to? I mean, because this craft has transmitted 15 points of science there, you know. Oh, now we're in, what are we now considered as? That's space high. We're now into space high again. Okay. That's interesting, that jumping around there like that. Okay. This is not going to complete, which is annoying. We've collected 10 science out of that, 46%. I think we can speed along a bit now, can't we? There we go. Just to see goodbye. I don't know if it's going to do it. What we'll do is we'll just dump the science right now. Have we got any more science to transmit? There's still data that's just sitting in the buffer. Like if I do that, that's not going to work. Let's do a bit of this. Yeah, it's good. We get rid of that. Get rid of that. Did that just trigger something? Nope. Anything else to trigger? I think we are now back out. Yeah, we're back into the sphere of influence of Jupiter, so we can just, thank you, we can just transmit absolutely everything. Now that flyby mission should count, but we'll see how much data is required, if any, to get this. You know, we'll stop that. What are we doing? Looking for power? Not bad at all, actually. But that was not bad at all. Right, so we can go back into here and go high power on, and transmit low powers like that. Good. Right, we're okay. Right, so I think that's our flyby completed. I will sit with this for a little bit, and I will see you when we get to our Saturn maneuver. So we are just around Saturn. We're going to do a little burn to try and bring, and we plotted this out in the previous episode, to bring our craft around to attempt to try and do a flyby of Tethys. So that's what we're going to do now. We are a little late noticing that. I've been too busy looking at it instead of actually doing it. This craft has actually produced more data or more science points than our Jupiter mission, which I think is quite interesting. But then you have to remember our Jupiter mission was the second Jupiter craft involved in going past Jupiter, whereas this is the only craft that's been to Saturn. So we do have to take that into account. Jupiter craft has done very well actually with its flybys. They are quite brief, but we will see. This we're going to have a look at and see what's going on with it. There we go. Right, we're going to do a little bit of thrusting, see if we can. There we go. Right, so now what we want to do, I want to just hold it where it is, and we're going to get rid of that maneuver, I think. Are we? No, we're not. Yeah, we are. We're going to get rid of that. Now, let's have a look at the apoapsis up here. I would like to bring our apoapsis down a bit. So we're going to zoom in. Now, currently, nice apoapsis there. If I do that, what happens here? This apoapsis is going down. Okay. What if we go over to the other side? All over to the side. It's going up, is it? Right, so 376. So we'd like to pull it the other way, actually. I think 3307. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. 33. Yeah, we want to be on this side. We want to use a little tiny gravity assist, which is a bit silly because we just wasted fuel on it. But it's you know, you get to see how you can test that. We could have done it with maneuver nodes. Right, that is within 40 kilometers of the surface of Tethys. That is a little tighty. We're going to go 27. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, right. We still have quite a bit of delta V on this. Not sure we can do a capture on Tethys. In fact, I know we can't do a capture on Tethys. We're going to turn our RCS off and everything else off. We're just going to let this thing sit right now at that altitude. That should be okay. I don't think there's anything really stupidly high around Tethys. I think it's pretty much around. And then we have to start thinking, once we've gone past there, what else do we want to go for? I'd love to go for Iapetus or for Titan would be the one to try and get an interaction with. But again, we're not in a hurry. We've got a lot of options with these things. We can take our time and pick as things go. So that's going to be in 13 days. All right, I think we're going to go and see if we can send a mission off to the moon, possibly. Yeah, I think we might do that. So yeah, join me on the launch pad. Here we are on the launch pad. We're going to jump away for a second. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, or we're going to try and do something I don't normally do. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's not my fault. I think is generally the argument I'm going to go for. So we are going to try and use the MechJeb Ascent guidance for this one. I'd like to go back into that. Thank you. Right, we're going to use Ascent guidance. So let's have a look. What do I need to do? Well, where's my final? I would really like these to both be 200, actually. But that's fine. I'm actually fine with that. Current, I want to launch into plane of target. Is there anything else I want to do? You know what? Let's just leave all of this as it is. Just make sure that don't want to coast. Good. See, hot staging. All right, we need to check. So the engines are going to go. Then it's going to be decoupled. Then that and that are going to go. That's going to fire. Good. Then the fairing's going to go. That's going to fire. Those are going to be activated, and that is then going to be decoupled for that thing at the top. Okay, I think we're okay there. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Right, so I'm going to put this over to this side, and I'm going to click launch into plane of target. There we go, 21 hours. Oh, that's wonderful. And then I'm going to engage the autopilot. There we go. It's now going to take it into warp. It's going to warp forward, and is it going to launch it is the other thing. Now, what I should do, because I like to see how these things are doing, we'll put the rendezvous planner on, so we can actually see when it's launching this craft. That's going to be interesting, because normally I would launch at 0.2 degrees prior to point. So it's going to be going around the same time as me. That's interesting. Okay, let's have a look. How are we looking? 0.25. Oh, it's going earlier. Interesting. Engines are hot and it's gone. Okay. Oh, by the way, the crew on board, we have Regina Mayer, we have who is our pilot, we have Brenda Campbell, who is our scientist, I believe, and we have Annalise Mayer, who is our engineer. And of course this is a Dog 3C, so it's got that sort of launch craft that you don't really see much actually. I think we've used it once for the Dawn 2, but basically it is the first two stages of the Javelin 5, with the second stage being sort of bulked up a bit because we don't use the standard third stage. And then the third stage we have on here is an adapted, enlarged slightly low density transfer stage, but we've replaced the RL10s with the LR, is it 87 LH2 vacuum engine that we just got access to. I'm going to see if I can speed this up a little bit actually. Let's just go a bit faster. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. It's running on the red. Now, I did not expect that. Is that because this is doing its stuff at the same time? It's making it a little bit harder for it. That'd be quite interesting to find out, isn't it? We'll zoom out a bit so that it's not quite as loud as that, because that is quite loud indeed right now, in fact. Just in the background. So, first stage we've got about 50 seconds left of. Our altitude is not going up the way I would like, but I suppose it's taking quite a steepish sort of climb. It's a lot lower climb than I would have done if I was doing it manually. So it's got over a lot quicker. I suppose it's probably taking into account air density and things like that there, and it's probably more efficient to do it like that. That's interesting. Right, it's now, yeah, the speed is definitely getting up there, but it's putting its nose up a bit actually. That's interesting. Why is it doing that? It's obviously below its expected target point. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, that is not good. Oh, that is an interesting maneuver. Yeah, that is very interesting. That would explain why I normally do not do that. Yeah, that's well done, Ascent guidance there for rescuing that. I would probably suggest that's not the way it's designed to do it. That may have had an impact in our flight profile. That is interesting. You can see our relative inclination is actually dropping. I think it went up a bit to start there, so that's quite interesting. Now we're pulling it back. Was that because of the burn sideways there? We went off a bit. It's going to be interesting to see how it recovers this, because yeah, time to apoapsis is pretty much constant. I wonder whether because we had it in time warp, it had more impact there and it was having trouble catching, because it does have, it does do checks on its orientation and stuff regularly, so we'll have to have a look. It should have decoupled the fairings. Why have the fairings not gone? That's a bit odd. Let's just do that. Is it because that's... Ah, because we were in speedy up mode, it didn't want to decouple the fairings. That's interesting. So now you can see the craft. And we actually did show you this in, I think, probably about 3 episodes ago. So you've got the dog 3 on the top there. Nice big sort of fuel tank there. That's got about 2,000 minutes per second in it. And then we've got this, our modified low density transfer stage we've been using with the single engine on there. That is the, yeah, it is the LR87, yeah, it's the LR87 like liquid hydrogen variant. Pushing that on, and that way the only reason I use that is because it actually gives us a decent push rate. It's decent thrust. It's I think we lose a little bit of efficiency, but we can actually use the fuel instead of being a bit of a waste. Now it's going to be interesting to see how much of this we actually use up, because this stage should get it most of the way there normally, but we had that tumble and that's impacted our velocity quite significantly. So let's pop this up just a little bit before we get to that there. Right, let's see how we do. So it's going to be aiming for 200 by 180. We could have gone a bit lower, but let's see. This is a bit of a safety thing for me actually, to see how it goes. It's not going too badly actually, apart from that spin, and I think that's because it takes such a low thing. I'd be tempted to wonder if you could change that. Oh, that's gone, and then this is now firing. This is going to use about 1,000, I think. Oh, hello. We've got a bit of a freeze going on. We've got the engine noise, but we don't actually have anything happening. Oh, there we go. Right. So now the question will be, what is going on there? What is that? Is that the... Oh, that must be the... because it's not staged combustion. So that's just the vernier that's going to be, doing some stuff. So does it have roll control? I wonder if it does. You can see our relative inclination is not looking bad. We're now going to be down. Yeah, we're going to have to use about let's think. If it gets to about 2,200, then it's going to be 1,000 of that to use. So we're not going to orbit. I can tell you that now. We could tight orbit it, but it wouldn't be nice. I'll have a think about it. It's going to be a flyby, I think. Yeah, we're doing a flyby now, I think. There we go. Right, we're right on the brink of what I would say is good for flyby. So that's disengaged. We're in orbit. 0.00. Decent orbit there. Well done. I mean, it's got us into orbit. What I will do is we'll activate the RCS because we can. And then we can have a start thinking about what we're going to do. So first things first, let's get everything activated. So we can actually close that down for now. Dump that, get that going. Right, hello, come on. Dump that, get that one going. Dump that, get that one going. Dump that, get that one going. Right, what are we looking like? Electric charge is going up. We are looking at a lot of stuff. Water, as always, is an interesting one, but we got 22 days. Liquid oxygen is not a problem. Liquid hydrogen a year, that's not a problem. Okay, right. So let's see. Are we gonna go for a flyby? Have I actually? Oh, you know what I haven't done? We have not accepted the mission. Right. Let's jump back. See if I have to launch a new craft for this. If I do, we're going to take it anyway because we'll send another one up to do it. But yeah, did I accept the mission? So the missions we are looking at are, let's see if we can find it. So we got first crewed lunar orbit, that we get 4 years for, and lunar flyby we get 4 years from as well. We're going to go for the lunar flyby. You have to get within 5,000 kilometers. That's the interesting one. That is interesting. So we're going to take that one. We're not going to take the crewed lunar orbit just yet. We need to set this up reasonably quickly because we're currently... Oh, yeah, we've jumped away, so we have to reset all of the electrics again. Don't want to kill people, do we? There we go. We just do this. This is one of the things that does annoy me, having to constantly, because we jumped away and checked missions and things like that, we have to reset the fuel cells, because fuel cells, obviously, we have a trouble with them. There we go. Do that. That's okay. We are using the Apollo fuel cells, obviously. That should be okay now. Yeah, we're charging. And where's water? Water is max. Okay, right. So, looking back on our, first of all, we're going to tidy this up. We're going to get rid of lines. Don't care about those. We're going to have a look. We're going to get rid of pretty much everything else, because we don't need anything else on this right now. Get rid of absolutely everything. There we go. Right. Target is the moon. Now we could mess around. I could mess around here and put maneuver nodes in to try and get an encounter with the moon. The easiest way is actually to go to rendezvous planner and go intercept with Hoffman transfer. There we go. That's our start point. You will see if we do that, we're going to hit the moon. And if we didn't hit the moon, we go flying over there. That is because if we just focus view, actually, before I focus view, I needed to come back here, because what I want to do is I want to actually see what that's going to be, but it's going to be our return one. So we'll do that in a minute. Right. So at the moment, we're actually going to hit the moon. So we need to play with it a little bit. So let's bring up our maneuver. We're going to go to maneuver 1. We're going to go to our little thing here. There's a couple of things we could do. We could use a little bit less push to take us to the moon. There you go. And then we're going now there. Oh, look, we're still going the complete wrong way. And so what we could do there is, well, we could put a bit more effort in. We can go on the other side. And you'll see we're going to spin around the other side of the moon and pop around the back. There we go. And then if we look at that, oh, we're actually coming back a little bit. Okay, that might be a bit better. Interesting. What I would like to do then is maybe I might like to, if I zoom out, you can actually have a look. If I'm pressing this, see, we're actually going further out. So we want to go this way a bit. We're going to go like that. There we go. Now, how's that looking? Not brilliant. Not brilliant at all. We can actually move this up a bit. Put more of this. Too much. Right, there we go. That's about as good as we're going to get, I think. That is not a free return. So, is there anything else we can do? Well, we can pull a bit further out. What's that do? Oh, look. By being so far out there, that's 3,000 miles. 3,000 kilometers. We're actually coming back a little bit. Now that gets us a bit more useful. So just bring up the mission we have. And it says, where are we? We're going to be within 5,000 kilometers. Okay, so that's okay. I'm going to bring this up. We want to see that, because we would like to come back to Earth reasonably. We're going to see that one as well. So that's 3,000. We can work with that. So how can we work with it? Well, we could make it a little bit more. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? That's bringing it in. What if we just move this a bit? Does that help? It's making that worse. So we want to go this way a bit. And that's going up again. Okay. So that is pretty much as good as we can get. And this is one of the problems with patch conics. You can play around with it, and you can get some quite good returns and things like that, but I'm not going to mess around too much with it. This means we're going to come out. We're going to come out like that. We're going to hit that, but we're going to be flung out into a really high arc. That's going to be 19 days. That is, let me find it. Is that 7 days? How is that 7 days? Where's this periapse? This periapse is 4 days. Okay, are we then going to come back around? Is that what's going to happen? It says that's going to be, 7 days, 4 days. And then we're going to be into this cycle if we miss it. So where's this one? That's going to be 28 days. It's going to be about there, is it? 11 days, 10 days, 9 days. So we would have to, what's this bit here? 28 days? 28 days. Hold on a second. So we're going to come out here. We're going to hit that. We're going to go through there, round the wrong side, come out of here, and then what? That's 4 days? What's this? 1 day. How is that 1 day? There is no way that takes... We are going at pace, aren't we? You know what? let's do this a bit differently. I want to see just that's it. See, there's one. There's a free return for you. Unfortunately, you're miles away from what you need. So then can we... No, other way. Let's see if we can actually make this work. Make this a bit more noticeable. Right, that's as far as that's going to get. You can see we're starting to develop that again. So whenever we're getting that close, it's always going to be like that. So what if we pop it around the other side? Like so. Wow, that is a kick. That's not what I wanted. So we're going to go the other side, which is a bit odd. I always thought you came around the other side, but okay, maybe I'm... No, that's the big kick. Yeah. So we're going to go there. Like that, like that, like that. Right, what about a bit of... That's better, but too much. So I want to take it to be about 5. I want to... Can I do anything to make it a bit less vicious? Is that going to take me below 5? I think that's going to send me out into deep space, isn't it? 15 days. So then we're coming in there, we're going out there. That's 5 days, 6 days. That's a quick return. It doesn't put me in the atmosphere, so I will have to do something. But we've got potentially RCS that we can use for that. So even if the engine fails, it's not a killer. And that's 31. Okay. Right. I think that's what I want to go for. I think that's what we're going to aim for. So that's going to be in 50 minutes. The burn time is variable. It's got a bit of a give in it. We're going to try that. It's going to be within 5,000 kilometers. It is just, it's going to be 4 days to get there. So let's have a look. Are we okay for everything? Everybody's full up, topped up. We've got a bit of waste building up, but that's not a big issue for us. We can dump waste. Right. So I think what I'm going to do is, because we've done our launch being, let's go for maneuver planner. Because we did our launch completely with MechJeb, we're going to try and do this with MechJeb. I haven't obviously put the maneuver in with MechJeb, but we'll do that. So let's turn on the RCS. Would be a good idea. And then let's execute that node. Let's see if it does it. Let's see how it works. Is it going to be okay? Is it going to... See, the problem is doing this burn where it is. How close to we to the node? We can't see. It can actually throw all of this off because the RCS might not be balanced and it throws things around a bit. So we will see. It'd be interesting to see if it manages it. This craft, all I would say in that was a very small thrust. The thing to watch actually when you're doing that is to see if the craft's causing problems. So look at these, because the changing of these two, the apoapsis and periapsis, they will have, basically if they change, you're going to have a problem with your maneuver node. Now we can of course do some modifications as we go along with this, so it's not a big issue, it's not a huge problem, but we will see. Right, it's going to turn it round, is it? So we have 2,200 on this, which means it gives us another 1,200 on the next stage left, probably, possibly. That is not quite enough to go into a tight orbit around the moon and then pull it back out, so we're not going to attempt it. We're going to try and do this sort of semi-flyby, because the other thing is we can test re-entry with this, and this is potentially going to be a very extreme re-entry. We're going to have a look at this and see what we can do to make it a little bit less intense. We'll probably put a bit of burn on when we just leave the moon sphere influence, but again, if we have to, we'll go through the atmosphere at high temperature and risk the crew, because it's better that than being stuck out in deep space. We are going to have to fire 2 engines on this. That's the big problem. Right. So what we're going to have is this engine go first. It will burn out. Then we're going to fire this one, and then we're going to need the second relight of this ideally to bring us into interaction with the atmosphere on the way past. If that doesn't work, we're going to RCS it, and we should have more than enough fuel for the RCS systems. The RCS systems, I've done it again. The reaction control systems to actually deal with that. So there we go. Have we got a light? We have a light. So that's going to fire us up now. And that's only about a minute long burn. So we need to maybe keep an eye about this right now. Okay. Now this is going to be interesting because we do actually have a stage separation and then ignition of this. So I'm thinking, which nodes are these? Those are those. Those are right. So we've got those active already. So it's a case of that. I think I'm going to pop this down to there so that we can actually just engage that. Right, this is going to be the fastest crewed mission, I believe, in the program's history. I think. I don't think we've had anything go quite as fast as this is going to go, because we're going to be looking at over 11,000 meters per second relative to Earth on this launch. Right, we are running low on the hydrogen. That's very nice. Thank you very much for that. And liquid nitrogen, very good. The problem there would be, I've just realised we don't have crossfeed on, do we? Good. No, good. So that we're not actually draining the service module on this, because that would have been a problem. Come on, fire. Oh, I have to stage, do I? Come on, why are we not staging? There we go. Oof, that's interesting. Didn't like that, did it? We had to stage twice there. Is that because I'd played around with it a bit? Okay. Right. Very quiet engine. So it is on the way. The girls are on their way out there. You can see we've used, it feels like we've used hardly anything at all there, but this final little bit here, it takes very little extra delta V to go from sort of geostationary up to lunar orbit. If I actually put, have we got the comms system? Can I put the comms on? Let's have a look. That's geostationary. We're just passing geostationary now. Okay. So that just gives you an idea of the difference in delta V. We are going to have to put a bit of delta V in here to bring that periaps down, actually looking at it. We may even do it around the moon. We will have a think about that when we're flying there. We'll have a look. Right. A burn round the back of the moon would actually be quite nice. I think get the crew doing that. We have got stuff and things going on. Do I have a crew report and things active? We do. So we're going to get telemetry and crew report, but no other science. We're not packing anything else on this mission. This is purely a, test of the idea of this craft. We are gaining a bit now. Going to take a while. It's a reasonably long burn on this engine, actually. Not an easy one. If this engine gives up now, we're still safe because our periaps, we can RCS it into the atmosphere nice and easy. Not a problem. In fact, this is the perfect place to actually have an engine failure. Any further on, it's a problem, and if it's on the second relight, we have a problem there as well. So yeah, that's we're quite happy with this situation right now. What I am going to do is we're going to shut this engine down though when we get to the point of it's going to shut itself down, isn't it? Yeah, come on, shut down for me. And there we go. We actually activate this shutdown so it doesn't all try and do. Wow, look at that. You've got all manner of little secondary orbits and things like that. So at the moment we're a little bit shy, so we're gonna hold it, get the RCS on, hold me please, and we're going to do a little bit of pulling this in. We're just going to do a little bit to pull it in. We're going to see how it goes. What's happening to my orbit? It's getting bigger. We need to get this below 5,000. That's what we need to do. It's going to be painful. I know it is. Right, there we go. Right, that's good enough, I think. Turn that off. Right. Okay, so we're going to get out there. When are we going to get to this point? We're going to be there in 4 days, at which point, what do I want to do? I would really love to bring my periaps there down. That's not going to do it. That's going to do it. So I'm going to fire at that point there. How much do I need to put in? Oh, this is not as cheap as I thought it was going to be. Are we better off doing it 15 days? 7 days? Are we better off doing it once we're actually back out of the sphere of influence? So about here. Is that going to help? No, that's not going to be good. I want to be What about there? That's 20 days. 5 days. Okay, let's have a look. If we do it about there. No, it's going to have to be on this side. About there. We add a maneuver there and we pull it back. What does that do for us? That does what? Ooh, this is expensive. Get rid of it. Let's try again. So if we do it there, with 5 days to go, pull that down. 22, 26. Yeah, so this flyby is not as easy and not as nice as I would have liked. What am I talking about? That's 10,000. 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, say 5,000, 6,000, 4,000. I mean, we could do a bit of that as well. It's the easy way of doing it. We actually, in fact, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of radial in. That's the way to do it, isn't it? We want to maintain a bit of speed because I want to get back quickly-ish. But I want to try and come in reasonably quickly. 300. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to be 400. So that there is going to be close. That's, you know, we bring it in a bit. There we go. That's fine. So that we know it's 450 about there to do that maneuver. Okay. Now, how much is it going to be back here? Let's have a look. We want to bring that in, so we're going to go that way. No, we want to go this way. I think that is more of the impact, isn't it? Yeah. So, is that going to? Yeah, that's going to be a lot easier if we do it around the moon. And we take it down to, I don't know, yeah, 60. 60 would be good. 60 would probably be the right sort of altitude that we want to go for. Yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. We'll probably go for that sort of burn. Yeah. Now, obviously, we could capture around the moon. I don't want to do that with this mission at the moment. I think our launch profile with the autopilot wasn't brilliant. I need to think about that if we're going to use the ascent guidance, because it was so low that when that second stage kicked in, there was no stability. It just flung it around, and that would be a problem for me. But this is gonna give us a big chunk of. If I actually come on here, we just activate this engine. Actually, we can see it's got 1,200. So we're gonna have another 1,000 left. So that's not a big issue, right? Well, that's going to happen in 4 days. We don't have anything else going on for that time. So I will see you all approaching the moon in 4 days. Well, welcome back to our flight to the moon. We are now in the sphere of influence of the moon. You can see I've just put on the communications loop. You can see our actual communication system is able to transmit to back to Earth, but we're also connecting to all of the satellites that we have placed in orbit around the moon as well. So we've got a nice sort of signal system going there. They're not perfectly arranged anymore. It's been a few years since we launched them now. I don't believe we're going to get science close to the to the moon, but we can have a look. So on the other side of things, food wise, electric wise, everything, we are looking good. We've got a lot of liquid nitrogen, a lot of liquid oxygen. They are doing really well. Perpetual oxygen water is not a problem. Food 19 days. So even if we flung ourselves badly, I think we'd be okay. So let's see, where's the moon gone? There it is. There's the moon. We're pointing straight at it, team. Well done. So let's just clear some of this stuff off here for now. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Yes, and then we can get rid of the alarm clock. We do have an alarm in 9 days, which is the Saturn mission. Sphere of influence change around Tethys, but we also have a Dog 3. It's going to be leaving the sphere of influence of the moon in about a day and 13 hours. So we're actually in the sphere of influence of the moon for quite a while with this. So we're gonna take our time. We're gonna have some fun. What we are going to do though, I'm going to put a marker down. I'm going to put a marker there. because we do need to do that burn. That is something that we do need to do. So we're going to do that. Let's do this, do that, and do this this way. That's the one I want. And thank you. And I'm going to pull it down to we're going to pull it down all the way down to not 0. That would be just excessive. Pull it down to, I think we're going to go for about 60, although we might bounce at 60. So I think maybe 55. Maybe 55 is the best one to go through. Of course, it's a learning experience. I may change my mind on the way back. Actually, we will see. So we'll put on 55. I can always change it with the, we'll put on 60. We'll put on 60. I can always change it with the RCS on the way back. That's what we'll do. And feel free to do that. Well, this is one of those points where if it's your first time, save it and have another go is my thought, because, you know, you would simulate it. Alternatively, you can do simulations. Or sometimes instead of going to the moon like this, I will actually, and let's just, let's let this thing flow along. Instead of going to the moon like this, I will, at other times, I will actually fire the craft out to the moon sort of altitude, but without interacting with the moon, and get it to come back then. And then it's slightly easier to just play around with, and you can practice a little bit of your returns and things like that. Particularly, it's not so hard with capsules, but with space planes and things like that, absolute nightmare. So in the British series, we didn't send a space plane to the moon. There was plans to, but some of the simulations and stuff were horrendous for that. All right, I'm going to bring this in a little bit, and yeah, let's see how close to this moon we get. Are we doing science right now? Actually, no, we're not. One thing I do need to do is knock the helium off. That's one thing that we need to do. Oh, we need to go into normal speed. Knock the helium off, because that I do know is a problem. Yeah. Got to make sure we've got the helium for the RCS system. The RCS system today again for the reaction control system upon our return. So let's have a look. Now these crew cannot EVA from this capsule because we don't have the mission module on, so I can't do EVA science. I don't think I can anyway. What we'll do is we'll wait until we get. In fact, we'll just. No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna try it. We don't have the need to do EVA right now. I'm going to keep this up just so I've got a mind of it, because I am paranoid that some of the systems just shut down because we changed sphere of influence. I don't think there is any sign of that, so we're okay. Yeah, the fuel cells just do my head in quite a little bit, actually. It's a little annoying. Right, we're going to slow down a bit. I should have put a marker actually down on the alarm clock for this. I have not put a marker down for this. So you know what? I think I probably should. Let's see. Can I do that? Can we add this? Yes, we can. Oh, that's good. So we can actually just do that, right? Okay. The alarm clock coming in to be useful yet again. And you can see we've only been, look at that, that's cool. We're still they're going to be 5,000 kilometers away by the time we actually get to our closest point though. So yeah, now what do we have to do for that mission? Where is it? Where's my mission? Where fly by the moon, return home safely. Oh, you have to launch a new vessel. Okay, so we do need to do a launch a new vessel. That's annoying. But hey, we can do that in the future anyway. That's not a big problem. You know, we're just testing our flyby on this. We could have done it at any altitude. We can repeat this mission if we need to, or we'll just actually try and develop the orbital craft at some point and try and go into orbit around the moon. I think will probably be the next step. Right, we're going to just speed along through. We've got about 7 hours to go until we're at our maneuver, so we've got a little bit of time. And then we're just going to fire this engine up. It's going to be this main engine that's going to do the burn. Same main engine that was used on the Apollo craft, so, you know, it should be okay. I don't think they had any problems with it. Well, unless you're Apollo 13, but we won't talk about that. I think that was a slightly other related issue. Look at that. That's a good shot, isn't it? That's a lovely shot there. Do that. Ooh, look at that. That's brilliant. Yeah, we like that. Right. We've got about 27 minutes until our required burn. We're going to let it just come up on us. And again, it's not a big issue if this doesn't work. Well, it is. It is actually. We have RCS, but the RCS would take so long to do this burn. I would really rather not let you do it. Now that's a good shot as well, actually, isn't it? You know what? I'm getting all sort of like, ooh, look at that! Isn't that brilliant? Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. There we go. We're at it. So We're going to put ourselves. No, we're doing this mission with this, so we're gonna continue with the maneuver, this planner thing. Yeah, we're gonna activate you. Okay, and then we're gonna go turn the RCS on, and then we're gonna go execute. There we go. Right. So yeah, I mean, if you use if you actually don't use patch conics, it's a lot easier, I think, to get free return trajectories from the moon. Famously, the Apollo missions basically followed like the figure of 8. So you launched off the Earth and you came around the back of the moon and then came back to the Earth in that lovely free return trajectory. Of course, Apollo 13 was a little different. And normally, you know, if you were going to the moon to land, you'd stay in orbit around the moon for a little bit. So you added that orbital stage in, but in general, that sort of diagram represents what they were actually doing. A little different with patch conics, but yeah, it's not terrible. You can get a free return trajectory. You just got to do a lot of playing around with it. Right, there we are. Let's have a look at what that's done for us. Where's our periaps now? 51. Do I like that? I don't know. Now the question is, where were you? You're in 3 days. Okay, so we're coming out of here and we're going to join about here, are we? There's the moon. We're going to join about here. Yeah, 5 days. No, we're going to come this way, aren't we? That's what's happening. Yeah, 2 days. So we're looking at a return in 2 days, 16 hours. So this is a quick one. It's probably, yeah, this is a very quick one actually. We're going to go at speedy up heat. We're going to come here. Now we are coming in at 50, which I think is possibly shallow, so we could kill the crew here, but we're going to warp to there. All right, everything is good, I think. I am very tempted to use the main engines one more time just to make this a nicer landing. But we're supposed to be simulating. We're not always going to have that fuel available. Sometimes we're going to be almost dead stick. So yes, let's have a look. Right, we're going to come to, let's have a look here. There, please. Right, what we're looking at, 51. That is low. That is low. This could be terminal actually. I don't know if we've got, hello, where's the Earth gone? There we are. Right. I want you to slow down first of all. Right. We're going through the radiation belt. How very exciting. Let's see. Put this on. I want to be normal, please. Thank you very much. Right. I could fire that engine and slow us down a bit. We are coming in very toasty. So this is going to be the hottest this is ever going to get. I think a return from an orbit around the moon would actually be easier, but we'll have a look. What we're looking at, radiation 2.7 rads, exposure to extreme radiation because we're going through the system. What are they all looking like? Radiation 5%, 3%. They're not doing brilliantly, but they could be a lot worse. Fuel cells and everything look okay. Good. I think we're okay for this. Right. Okie doke. We're going to do surface. I want you doing anything. I don't really need that anymore. We can just slide you over there. Right. Once we get closer to the atmosphere, we'll do the decoupling. I do actually wonder why I haven't turned that on. Let's just do that. There we go. What's that going to decouple? That's going to decouple that, then that's going to be on its own, and that's going to be armed. Okay. We can arm the parachute now, actually, so I don't forget. Then we can decouple that, and that's going to give me some control, I think. And then we'll just decouple it as well. I think is the way we're going to go with it. Yeah. What are these tanks set to? They're set to 10. What's this set to? It's set to 10. I need a higher priority on this. I want this to drain first. Right. Let's have a look. Time to is 7 minutes. Charge, we have a lot of it. We're going to wait until we're about halfway to there or somewhere, and then we're going to do it. Right, we're going to 500, and then we're going to dump it. Right, we are ready. Of course, we're coming down in the dark because that's the best way to do it for the video. Right, we're going to dump that. We're going to go surface velocity negative. What have we got going on? Why are you not working? What's going on? turn on my RCS would be a good idea. Is that, hello? Why is my RCS not firing? Good stuff. That's interesting. So is it not using that? Or is it because that's locked? Because that's interesting if that's the case. Right, so because those were locked, that's not firing. No, it is using that. Is it? Is it? And these are, they're still full. So even though they were locked, so it was stopping that firing, that's very odd. I've not seen that before. Okay. I'd really like to control my roll as well, would be nice. Is that good? Can I get my roll controlled? Brilliant. Right. Brilliant. I don't know when we're going to get rid of you, actually. We're going to hold you for a while. So I need to look into that because those should be draining from that directly. UDMH NTO. This is UDMH NTO as well. Oh, that's different. Oh. But then yet it's using UDMH. Okay, I need to check that. That's very odd that that lockout was causing that problem. Very strange. Right. Team, are we ready? You don't look particularly ready. Where's the front of the craft? That's the Earth there, and then I think that's the back. So that must be the front. Is that the entrance? I think so. Right. I'm going to put on. Where are we? I need to be up here. Turn descent mode on. There we go. That's it. You can flop there. You can go to there. We're going to put you there. This is a little nervous. We are coming in exceedingly hot right now. Right. Electric charge. How long have we got on you? We have 1 hour 40 minutes. So we could go through the atmosphere and pop out the other side and still potentially bring this thing in. It would be tight, but it's possible. Right. We're about to interface, so we'll just do that. And there we go. Right. We are interfacing with the upper atmosphere any second now. There we go. We've got the pause. We're in. Right. So we should start to see, is there going to be any sort of thrusty? We're going to go perfectly fine. We do have it in descent mode, but we have actually got the RCS fighting that, which is always going to be fun, isn't it? We could turn off pitch and yaw and let that go. Right. Okay, so this is going to be hot. It's going to be hot and fast. I think we should start to see our apoapsis is dropping now already. We're starting to get a drop. Okay, so we are starting to get stuff going on. Right, we're going to turn the RCS off. It's going to start tilting, but I'm going to turn it back on. Yeah, turn it back on. We do not need to come in like that. And I think we're going to dump this very soon, actually. Yeah, in fact, I think we're going to dump it pretty much now. We're going to... Yeah. Okay. I think we're going to... There we go. Oh, dear. There we go. That's exploded straight away. Should have got rid of that sooner, but that teaches us a little lesson about that, doesn't it? Right. Let's have a look. I don't want to skip. Really don't want to skip. We're going low. Our periapsis is being pulled up. That's cool. We do not have any heat warnings yet. Periapsis is now above, it's approaching 60. So I'm going to turn descent mode off in a second. I do not want us to start going up. When we start going up, there we go, turn it off. Right, there we go. And we're just going to let it come in. So the second we started going up, we turned off descent mode. Hopefully that's going to allow us to bring it back down a bit. Nice and deep. So we came in, what was that, about 51 we were coming in at. That's quite low. And we came down to about 60. We got lift off this all the way down. Yeah, I think we might skip this. I think we might be skipping. Oh dear. It's not good. What's my time to apoapsis? What's my actual cycle time? We have enough electricity, I think. Yeah, we have enough electricity, so that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, I think we're going to start. Should be okay. We should be okay. We have enough electricity to go all the way around, I think. We have 1 hour 37 by the time we pull out the atmosphere. Yeah, we've got a period of 136, so we're at the same point in and out by the time our power goes, so we should be fine. We're still in the atmosphere, it's not a problem. Turn the RCS off, let it do its thing. There we go. Yes, this is fine, this is good, this is good, this is good. Wonderful. So we go down to 52, descent control. When we start to go up and we turn it off, there we go. Lovely, perfect. Oh, wonderful. I mean, I'm saying perfect, wonderful. We're still we're still going up. Technically, we're still going to leave the atmosphere, right? We're now going to stay in the atmosphere. Okay, that's better. Right. Okay, we can physical time warp a little bit now until we get to that point. Right, that's better. Yeah, we're just doing a little hop now. What we could do is we can put the descent mode on. Just give us a little bit of that, because we still have 7,000 meters per second in our surface velocity, which we need to kill off. So I'm acting as though we've not got a problem. We've used what, a big chunk of our ability. We used over what, I would probably say over 60% of our ability has gone. Yeah, that's big chunkies of it. So now we're going to come back down. We're going to use a little bit of, we're going to slow ourselves down as much as possible with the lift we can get from this craft. But yeah, we're going up, aren't we? Still going up. It's amazing, isn't it? That hanging around like this is really advantageous. We're getting rid of heat. We're dissipating our heat, just radiating it out, and that's going to help the entire system just a little bit. I probably went a little too high. I probably shouldn't have cut it quite as viciously as I did at the point I did. I should have cut it a little bit earlier and just let it hang around there a little bit. But that ablator was going quite intensely, so we know that's good, that's possible. We like that, right? And we're going to start our way back down now. So now we're just going to start eating into the surface velocity while we're actually falling. That's good. All right. So unless anything major goes wrong, i.e. we run out of ablator, which I don't see happening because we're now falling and we're falling reasonably slowly. I mean, okay, the surface velocity is 7,000, but we're going to be fine for that. The ablator is going to be okay. We're probably, we won't even bounce off this atmosphere, I don't think. We might not. In fact, let's watch it. Let's see what happens, because we are coming in. I've got it set to, we've got it set to surface, haven't we? So that's the one I want. There we go. Okay. That was why it was reading different values, and I was getting a little confused. So we're going to drop down. I think we've got more than it. You can see the ablator is slowly ticking away at the moment, just because we've got heat on the craft, I think. We have got a slight roll that's been induced, but I'm not massively worried about it. And of course, we're running at 4 times speed. Coming down, and we're going to get a little bit of heating now, and that should be the last bit that we actually have to deal with. We're pretty much on a terminal velocity now. So we did a little skip. We went down to about 60, went back up to about 90, and then we're coming back down for our second jump there. Now, ideally, we would have actually held it around 70 to 65 would be the optimal point to do it. This is a bit of a rough and ready return, because I'm trying to get it done before the end of the episode, because this is quite a long episode. It may be that I actually cut this, and I joked earlier about cutting it, but yeah, you might actually find that I have cut it. I don't know if I will. It depends how I cut this down. I may do quite a bit of trimming on this episode. Right, so there we go. We've got, visible imaging at Earth's, how did I get that? That's interesting. I don't have a visible imaging thing on this. We must have had something that's flown over the ice caps that's got something that I've not seen before. Right, and I think that is it. We're down below 3,000 now. This is we're gone. We're done. We're sorted. Where are we actually? What are we on top of? Where are we? I can't tell. Oh, that's nice. There's Florida. So we're going to be landing. We're going to be landing just in the sea off the coast of Florida. Well, that's nice. So is this what, the Bahamas? Cuba? Something like that? Is that Cuba? Is that Cuba? What's that? Is that Florida there? I don't know anymore. Places, little islands. This be Bahamas. There you go. We could go. Ladies, we can go for a little holiday trip. That'd be lovely, won't it, after all this? Right. Now, of course, what we should do is we should dump NTO, MMH, and we should dump helium as well. Of course, if you do that once you've opened the vents on the craft to let oxygen in, all those toxic things go back into the cabin and they choke you. So yeah, yes, always a good idea to dump your fuels and things that are toxic before you land, but make sure you're not going to breathe it in as well at the same time. Right, so we're going to bring this in for a landing, and I will see you back at mission control for the wrap-up, I think. Right, here we are back at mission control, and we can see the crew are getting a little bit of a break and stuff like that. We have a vessel that's been recovered from a flyby, so we get some science for that. We've obviously not had a vessel do a flyby and re-recover before. That's interesting. Didn't realise that. Right, we get some bits of the craft back and some no funds for any of the food and stuff. But we do get the pod back and get a little bit of that. And of course the crew get a little bit of XP gain, but they still have not gone up to 2 stars, which is a little sad. We can have a look at them in the astronaut complex. Where are they? Yeah, there we are. Look, they're 1 point, I think, away from going up to 2-star crew. Okay, that's not terrible. Right, so that's going to be it for the episode. We've got a little bit of science there to spend. We've got a lot. Where did the funds come from? It's 7.9 million funds. Oh, we must have finished flybys and stuff. Oh, we took some Mars missions. That was it. I was going to say, because we didn't complete the mission that we've taken, because of course we launched the craft before that. Close that actually. Let's have a look. So we have missions for the future. We are looking at crew capacity and new crew to Dawn 2. We're going to work on that in the next couple of episodes, possibly. We have crewed lunar flyby. We're going to have to repeat that at some point. That's going to give us, oh, we've got the advance, the 2.6 million advance. We know we can complete that. We've just done it, so we can complete that again. I may do it off screen. We may actually just combine it with an orbital mission. I don't know. I have something in mind for this. We have a launch vehicle that is being built. We've got the Mars atmospheric probe and lander that's going to come on, and then we've got this one which we're going to combine with the crew to Dawn again, because it's only a 9-day one. So there's that there that's going to happen. So if you would like to see all of that, please like, subscribe, do all those sorts of things. Comment down below, tell me what you think, and yeah, from me until next time, have a great one.